Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Here with Farshad again. We're going to be chatting quarter updates, what happened in Q1, talk about some drilling, talk about some market stuff, price of gold, and go from there. Farshad, how's your day going?
Hi, Jason. Thank you for having me here. Oh, it's been great so far. I don't know except the coronavirus, which has been a little bit holding everyone back from the market, but I believe it's a great market. I've invested myself and I see investors coming and go to the market. It's been, on that sense of it, it's been good. But all in all, Vancouver has been good and I'm glad.
Yeah, weather's warming up too, starting to see some sunnier days, so people getting a little bit more positive. And like you said, I think a lot of people said that the bottoms for the markets have been in kind of since the last week of March, and now we're obviously seeing different times. Different industries will take longer to battle back than others, but I still think mining and especially gold is looking great. What's your kind of opinion on gold prices recently? Obviously seeing some highs, but what do you think is fueling it?
I've said it before in the past too. When 2008 happened, it was a market correction in general because market looks for excuses to do a huge correction. This is a huge correction we've seen, and for good or bad, it has happened. In the future, when we go through this, investors, I believe, should be really smart, go around the companies that they are active and they are going to uh, be more active in the future and provide something to the market, and they have some commodity to provide to investors. So that's my belief. And gold, talk about gold. Gold is gonna go crazy. In November, I talked about it. We have it online. We said it's going to be March that we're going to see 16, 1650. We've seen it. Now, believe it or not, my December, maximum December prediction is we're going to crack through $2,000. And I receive phone calls, and there are reasons for it. Every country on earth is printing money. Printing money means lesser value for their dollar, especially the United States. Somewhere in there, this is gonna crack a big crack in the commodity, in the dollar and
Well, the
FX market
the
and
big fuel,
gold.
like you're saying, right, is all these stimulus packages going out. Obviously Canadians. I think it's almost at 20% of Canadians are filing for this $2,000 a month. That's an incredible amount of money being printed. The U.S. obviously printing a lot of money as well. And giving the small businesses, they're about to give everyone $1,200 unless you make over 90K a year. So obviously, a lot of inflation coming in with basically zero interest rates. It makes sense to kind of protect your investment and get and buy gold. So there's always been a hedge there, between inflation. So I think obviously gold is going to see definitely moves towards your prediction. It makes sense, right? It makes logical sense that because the world's printing money to get through the recession and get through the pandemic is, hopefully gold sees a good uptick. So, I mean, going on from gold, I mean, obviously the hat project is pretty exciting for gold. Maybe let's chat about the estimates, on that, and kind of dive into the drilling world of the hat project. What you expect is the deposit, and kind of can you give us any parameters of what people can expect, or what the estimates were even months ago? Because I know we're going to chat about drilling and stuff in a bit, but what's your kind of opinion on your hat project?
Okay, on the resource estimate, we haven't done a calculation on that to report, but what I can talk about is the footprint of this deposit. The footprint that so far we have drilled, and we have shown that they are mineralized all over the place, everywhere almost. This footprint is 2.5 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers, sorry, 2 kilometers by 1.2 kilometers. This is the footprint that has worked, and we come up with this tentatively with the IP, which we have done on the south part of the property. On the north side, still we have to go. That gives you a good parameter to see what the scale of this project is. And about the gold value on that, on average, in general, we get 1 for 1 gold and copper. If gold is 1 gram, copper is 1%. That tells you porphyries, of course, are lower in percentages of having gold and copper. And lately we found out palladium, cobalt are important parts of this deposit, which makes it polymetallic. But gold is very important. You know, projects like this can end up with large values. If you look at all the other deposits in BC, we see billions of tons coming out of the ground. Like right now, we have operation mines. We can't compare them to those until we're arrived at that level, but those are in operation. They tell you with 0.2, 0.3% copper and 0.2, 0.3 gold, they are in operation and very lucrative.
Yeah, no, very interesting. So obviously, some good potential here. Leading into, obviously we're going to chat about this in a bit, but leading into, a lot of investment, advisors, even, brokers are starting to say, hey, like now's the time to be looking at some of the junior kind of mining, especially junior gold, based with, what we talked about with gold prices, inflation, but also just because the markets are relatively speaking, down, now's your time to get a deal, right? Get a discount on a nice company. So, hopefully people view DoubleView as that. And I think DoubleView does fit a lot of the characteristics of what some of these big advisors were saying. If you are looking for a more risky investment, it is to look at some of the junior mining companies, especially around gold, because gold's usually the first mover. So makes a lot of sense there. And would you kind of say similar?
Yes, you talked about risk. You know, risk going back to gold is one aspect of our project. Look at the risk value in here. It's the same as 2008, almost compare 1 to 1. Even right now, it's much stronger because we're printing money a lot more in the world than 2008. That's one risk, is lower risk that we can forecast that the gold is going to go higher. The other risk is on the company itself. Look, in the past several years, what we have done, we increased the volume of this deposit, we increased the grade as we drilled on every drilling program that we've shown. We increased our activities. So risk is there, but we have brought it very, very low. It's at the lowest as it can get for this project at this stage. Investors should feel better about it. But now you're saying about junior mining companies like the same as ours. Uh, Look, if you go and buy a piece of gold and say this is 1 ounce gold, it goes from 1750 to $2,000. That I predict is gonna go there. I hope. And but junior mining companies, they although they have high risk, they have higher risk comes with higher reward at the same time. That's why I am in myself, my investments are also in the same category. I like them better. They have better payout in the long run and in the short term.
Yeah, no, interesting. It makes a lot of sense. I think that's kind of the similar mindset that a lot of these investment guys are saying, right? So, good sense there. And, let's hop into some of what the questions we've been seeing, in the Telegram. Obviously, people can join there, ask questions all the time. And, it's very active, much healthier environment than some of the other meetings out there. So let's chat, some of the stuff we've been seeing questions about. So let's start with, drilling results. When can people expect it? That's been a very common question. Is there anything you want to say, just based on the drilling results that people are waiting for?
We are waiting for the assets to come in. It's coming really close to it right now. Uh, you know, we should have it very soon. We should have the results very soon. Uh, and I'm very excited about it. I am looking forward to it myself too.
Oh, good, good. Okay, well, cool. I know we'll leave it there, I guess. A lot of people have been hearing soon for a while, so would love to give them some insight. But hey, if you're excited, I saw the smile appear on your face. Maybe soon is soon. So good. Let's hop into, I guess, drilling plans. So, some people have been asking, is there future drilling plans? We touched on it very briefly in the last video we did. But is there anything you want to kind of speak about when it comes to drilling?
During this coronavirus, what we did at the office, what I did, I sent people away so they can work remotely on the computers at the office, and we get ourselves building on what we had in the past. And of course, we have the blueprint from previous option or to the property, all of that ready, but I am right now. We are at this stage that we're ready to kickstart the next drilling program, which I'm hoping to get it started ASAP and get to the property and start the next campaign of drilling. I'm hoping this year is going to be one of our biggest years. You know, in 2020, things should be 2020.
No, good, very true. Hopefully, and after this pandemic stuff, I mean, it seems like you guys are still doing well. Obviously having some healthy conversations, and hopefully things are going well. I guess, is there anything else you want to leave investors with, or even potential investors, supporters, before we end this week?
What are we going to do in the near future? We're talking about 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully as soon as possible. No promises. It's going to happen in 2 or 3 weeks. The first action we're going to have, hopefully among this, we're going to have the news release. I'm hoping so. And the first action we're going to have, we're going to go back to the property, start doing some technical work that's on the plate. The other thing that we're going to do on the project is right away getting some samples. We're still contemplating and working on metallurgical studies on the project. So we're going to get that done, geology done. Hopefully, as soon as we're ready, we get the drilling started right there, right after that. I'm hoping that we can get started soon. This year, it's been a very exciting year for us.
Oh, cool. And I guess, let's leave it with people that, haven't been following the story the whole time, maybe just a quick 1 minute update for what did happen, over the first quarter of 2020. And, why do you think it's going to be such a great 2020?
Oh, everything is on the plate for us. First, the price of gold is where we want it to be. Second, market had a rebound because of the coronavirus. This rebound starting to tumble a little bit, and then at some point is going to go. And this market doesn't have anything else to offer but the resources. And guess what? If you want to pay all of these taxes that the government printing for all the other individuals, how can you do that? You have to have resources like copper and gold and silver in order to get the economies going. That's for us. I don't see much of other things on the plate as far as the economy goes. I haven't seen any other thing to say, oh, this is it. This is going to be the next market. But resources, they've had good lag of 10 years, almost zero activity periodically every now and then. But right now, all of a sudden we come back. Second, we've been at the best it can get for W. W for several years, expanded this deposit, and look at the news releases. Every episode we have announced the results. They've been better than the past, better than the past. We're going towards perhaps the best of this deposit in this year in 2020, if we don't have it yet.
No, good. I think that's awesome. That's a great way to end it. So, again, thanks everyone for watching. If you made it to the end, make sure you drop any questions or concerns you have in the Telegram. We'll be happy to squeeze that into future videos. And we look forward to another update.
Thank you, Jason, for having me here. I'm always glad talking to you.